What's going on, everybody? Jacob here, JK Productions. I hope this sounds great for everybody. Finally got a better mic here to use here in the studio here at FAU. But today, Wednesday, one day before the start of the NFL season, where the Bills and Rams kick things off tomorrow. And with that, I'm gonna hit you guys with my predictions of every single division, the playoff races, and I got a few interesting thoughts here as to what I think is going to go down. So starting in the AFC, we're going to go with AFC West, probably the most competitive division in all football, the best division in all football, stacked teams, stacked offenses, and let's ride, baby. I'm a big believer in the Broncos, and I got the Broncos winning that division. It's a little bit of a hot take. They're the newcomers. Well, Russell Wilson is a newcomer in the division, and I think they're going to finish above the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Raiders. I got the Broncos going 11-6, Chiefs also going 11-6, just finishing just underneath them. Chargers going 10-7, and the Raiders going 9-8. So I have all four teams finishing above 500 there in a absolutely stacked division, but we riding with the Broncos. Over to the AFC North, Bengals, Super Bowl champs. I got to give it to them again until somebody proves in that division that they can be consistent, or if Ravens' case, they can be healthy. So I got the Bengals finishing first at 11-6, followed by the Ravens at 10-7. The Steelers, I know they always finish above 500. I don't care. They're going to finish 8-9. And the Browns, they're going to be without Watson for a long time, and Jacoby Brissett just simply is not that dude. So the Browns are going to finish as bottom feeders in the division at 6-11. Moving on to the AFC South, definitely the worst division in the entire AFC. You have such strong offenses, such strong teams everywhere else, but this division is just full of a bunch of crap. But somebody has to win it. And I was a really big fan of the Colts last year, and it burnt me. But we're gonna put our toe back in the water and go with the Colts again to win this division. I got the Colts finishing 9-8. Tennessee just behind them with Derrick Henry finishing 8-9. And then again, just two bad teams with the Jaguars and Texans. I got the Jaguars finishing third at 5-12 and the Texans finishing 4-13. But the division most of y'all want to hear about, the AFC East. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you anything except the Bills are going to win the division. I think the Bills are actually going to get the number one seed, finishing 13-4. So, where does that leave the Miami Dolphins? I think the Miami Dolphins, truthfully, as unbiased as I could possibly be, I think the Dolphins are going to finish 11-6. I think we're going to have a good season, and that's going to be enough for us to make the playoffs, which I'll get into just a second from now. Then, the New England Patriots, my boy Kervin's sitting right over here. He is not about to like what I'm about to say, but I think the Patriots are going to finish 8-9 with a losing record. I don't believe in the Patriots. I'm sorry. There really isn't anything to like on that team except for the fact that they're coached by Bill Belichick. I think everything is going to turn up like upside down this year, and it's not going to be good for them. So I got Patriots finishing at 8-9, and then Jets finishing 6-11. Hey, Jets have had a good offseason. Last two off seasons they've looked good, but they're still the Jets. They're still not quite there, and Zach Wilson's going to miss at least 4 weeks. Reports come out today. So I have them bottoming out the AFC East. So what does that mean for the playoffs? There's a few 11-6 teams in there that's going to make the wild card. There's a few 10-7 teams in there. One of them's going to miss. So, in order, I got Bills with the number one seed, arguably best team of football. Bengals, Broncos, Colts as the top four seeds. And then the wild card, the two 11-6 teams, I have Miami over the Chiefs. Not because I think the Dolphins are better than the Chiefs, but because the AFC West is so stacked, I think the Dolphins are going to have a better division record, which I believe is the tiebreaker. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins at the number 5 seed, followed by the Chiefs. And then that leaves the Chargers and the Ravens as to who's going to make that final wildcard seed in the AFC. And my heart says one thing and logic says another. So I'm going to go with logic. I'm going to say that the Chargers are going to make it over the Ravens to get that final wildcard spot as much as it hurts me to say that. Moving over to the NFC side of things, we are going to start with the NFC South. And it'd be a big surprise if anybody wins this division other than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I'm not even gonna tease it. I got Tampa Bay finishing at 10-7. I do have the Saints finishing just behind them at 9-8. I like what they've done, and Jameis Winston, he showed some things last season before he got hurt and tore his ACL. So I think the Saints are gonna have a very decent year, build upon what they got there. I don't know if I quite believe in Dennis Allen as a head coach, and Jameis is still Jameis at the end of the day. So I do have them finishing second in the division. The Panthers with Baker Mayfield, I still don't think they're going to be that good. I think they're going to finish 7-10. And I think the Falcons are going to round out that division, finishing at 6-11. Maybe Desmond Ridder starts at some point, and maybe he does enough to say, we don't need to draft a quarterback again. We just took you last year, and he looked pretty good. If he plays well this year, then I think they might stick with him. But I do have them finishing last in that division. Followed by the NFC North, which has seen a lot of Green Bay winning that division recently. But I think times are changing. I'm a really big believer in the Minnesota Vikings. And I got the Vikings winning that division, going 11-6. I like what they've done. I like the offense they're going to be rolling out there. Justin Jefferson, I'm a really big believer in Justin Jefferson this year. Potential Offensive Player of the Year winner. I really think he's that good. I really think he's going to be that good for this Minnesota Vikings team. Then you got the Green Bay Packers. I'm not going to say they're going to fall off a cliff here, but they're going to finish at 10-7, which I think is still respectable. Aaron Rodgers is still that dude, and they're going to finish second in the division. And then the following two teams, look, the Lions, I like what I saw in Hard Knocks. I just saw the finale of Hard Knocks last night. It's really sad to see some of those dudes get cut. But that's the reality of the business, and I really do believe in them to build on what they did last year. They're still really lacking in the talent department, so I don't think they're gonna even sniff a playoff spot. But going 7-10 for this Lions team, I think they're gonna be a respectable 7-10. And to wrap out the division, I'm sorry, Andrew, if you're watching this, but the Bears stink. They are not gonna be good. I got the Bears finishing 5-12. I feel so bad for Justin Fields. I have defended Justin Fields. I will continue to defend Justin Fields. I don't think it's his fault that this team's going to stink this year. I think he's the one thing that's going to be holding this franchise afloat for this year and probably next year as he's running for his life the entirety of this season. The NFC East, the NFC least, whatever you want to call it, is the Cowboys aren't them boys. We saw them crumble last year, and I don't think they're going to be going back to the playoffs this year. I got the Eagles taking that division. I really like the Eagles this year. A lot of good reports out of camp about Jalen Hurts and how this offense is looking. Took him in the Publix Fantasy Football League. So please, Jalen, please, I need you. I need you to do good, and I really expect the Eagles to finish top of this division at 10-7. And I really like the direction they're going. Followed by the Cowboys, the Cowgirls, whatever you want to call them, 9-8. Is I think about right for them. They lost a lot of pieces this last off season. Randy Gregory, Amari Cooper, Cedric Wilson, lost some pieces on the offensive line. Teron Smith. So they're definitely not going to be as good as they were last year. They still have Mike McCarthy as head coach. I do not like the Cowboys this year, but 9-8 is still a decent record for them. Following them, I have the Commanders, the Commies, finishing at 6-11. Not a believer in them or the Giants. I think both of those teams are going to finish at 6-11. Is battle for scraps at the bottom of the NFC, and both teams probably looking at another top 10 pick this year. And then the NFC West, definitely the second best division of football. The one thing that separates them from the AFC West is the Seattle Seahawks are the worst team in football, and my prediction is accordingly. I got the Rams finishing 12-5, number one seed in the West, number one seed in the NFC. Followed by the Cardinals and the 49ers. I got both of those. I got the Cardinals at 11-6. I got the 49ers at 10-7. And I got Geno Smith, Drew Lock, whoever they throw out there just to absolutely disappoint. I got the Seahawks finishing at an abysmal 3-14. Pete Carroll, you need to retire. You are old. Your ways are not with the current NFL, and you're really doing this team a disservice by holding on to hope that you can build this team back. You wasted Russell Wilson's prime, and now hopefully the Broncos are able to take what's left of his prime and get them to another Super Bowl. So please, for the sake of the NFL, Pete Carroll, I can't say it enough. I hope he retires after this season. But looking at the playoff race, playoff standings, I think this one's a little more clear-cut as to who the top 7 teams in this conference are. I got the Rams, Number 1 seed going 12-5. I got the Vikings at 11-6, Buccaneers at 10-7, and the Eagles also at 10-7. And then looking at the wild card, I have the Cardinals at 11-6, Packers 10-7, 49ers 10-7. Again, that tiebreaker is that division's going to be so rough that I don't think the 49ers are going to finish above the Packers in terms of their division record. Let me know down in the comments below. What do you think of this list? Got anything wrong? What do you think about your team? What I thought about your team? Let me know down in the comments below. Please make sure to subscribe. I'm getting really close to 100 subscribers, so thank you all for watching. Thank you very much for clicking that like button. Thank you for clicking that subscribe button. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. Take care, everybody.